Słuchasz podcastu Angielski z Konradem. Nowe odcinki każdego tygodnia. Jeśli chcesz popracować nad płynnością, nabrać odwagi do konwersacji, skorygować często popełniane błędy bądź poznać skuteczne metody nauki, ta audycja jest dla Ciebie. Remember, you're not at school, so chill out, kick back and enjoy yourself. Let's begin. Witaj w kolejnym odcinku. Zanim zaczniemy, pozwól, że pokrótce przypomnę, jak możesz wykorzystać mój podcast. Jeżeli czujesz się pewnie ze swoim angielskim, wystarczy, że przesłuchasz audycji. Dla tych z Was, którzy potrzebują odrobiny pomocy, pamiętajcie o notatkach do odcinka. Zatrzymuj podcast, przejrzyj notatki, w razie potrzeby powtórz nagranie. Zapisz się do newslettera za pośrednictwem strony angielskiskonradem.pl, by otrzymać natychmiastowy dostęp do notatek z tego i wszystkich poprzednich odcinków. Dostaniesz również powiadomienia o nowych odcinkach. Jeżeli masz pytania, uwagi bądź sugestie, skontaktuj się ze mną za pośrednictwem adresu angielskiskonradem@gmail.com bądź za pośrednictwem fanpage'a Angielski z Konradem na Facebooku. Switching to English. Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Conrad. This is episode 35. 7 personal challenges worth pursuing. I hope you love the show. Let's begin with some vocabulary. Persistent. Persistent. Nieustępliwy. Consistent. Consistent. Konsekwentny. Tenacious. Tenacious. Zawzięty. Commitment. Commitment. Poświęcenie. Drive. Drive. Zapał. So it's been a few weeks since the beginning of 2021. January is often regarded as the month of making New Year resolutions, or better yet, New Year goals. As I told you in the very first episode of the podcast, it's also the month when all those plans most often go down the drain. I feel you. Perhaps your plans have changed. So did mine. Ever since Ula was born, I had to put most of my plans on the back burner. My skateboards collecting dust, my motorcycles collecting rust. Such events as a child being born are life-changing. I have never realized that a baby can be so taxing. I'm not complaining. This is the reality of being a parent. Still, whenever I get an opportunity to keep up with my hobbies, I take it. There is no use waiting for the 1st of January to make a commitment. In fact, any time is good. But there is no perfect time to commit to a positive change than right now. The internet is an ever-growing battlefield of various challenges, constantly fighting for your attention. While some are silly, albeit performed in good nature, like dumping freezing water on your head, for charity. Others are moronic or outright suicidal, and every participant should get a Darwin Award. How else can you award people who drink bleach, set themselves on fire, or better yet, that's my personal favourite, put themselves in a large litter bag and hoover all the air out, all as a part of Internet Challenge? Okay, but let's get to the point. Here's a list of the most worthwhile challenges you can commit to now, at least in my opinion. These can make a meaningful, positive change in your life. You can customize some of them to your liking as well. If you decide to engage in any of them, set a time frame for a particular challenge. For example, 30 days. It's a nice round number. Also, remember to keep a record of your progress by filming yourself doing it, or make an empty calendar page to cross out days gone by. So let's begin. Hashtag challenge number 1. do X amount of exercises a day. There's a plethora of workout challenges on the net used to promote different causes or to popularize certain social issues. In the end, however, the most important cause is you. I've been talking your ear off about the benefits of physical exercise, so this time I'll give you just a brief list. Greater stamina, better mood, better looks. Need I say more? The greatest benefit is that if you refuse to stop, it's only going to get easier. If you do some exercises for 30 days straight, you will develop a healthy routine that will make your life more enjoyable in the long run. Hashtag challenge number 2. Quit one bad habit. If you decided to take on challenge number 1, you don't want to waste the effort made in that challenge, do you? Then think twice before you sink your teeth into a chocolate bar. Quitting eating, drinking, smoking, anything really, is an exercise in willpower, how vulnerable you are to outside influence. The longer you last, the greater your willpower, and it only improves with each day of the challenge. After you've spent 30 days and found sufficient willpower not to indulge yourself, what's stopping you to make it to day 31 or 32 or even longer? Again, benefits to your health are obvious. Financial benefits, not so much. After quitting smoking, I didn't save loads of money, but it was spent in a more meaningful way for sure. Quitting a bad habit is more about developing your character. If you can find enough willpower to say no to yourself, that means that your resolve is indeed strong. Hashtag challenge number 3. Save X amount of money. Is there a gadget you really want to buy but you don't have enough money? Saving money for the said gadget used to be an obvious solution. Nowadays, in a world where we are bombarded by zero-interest loan commercials, it's not so obvious anymore. Taking loans to buy stuff is an easy way to get in debt. Because indeed you are in debt if you do so. I found that if I paid for something in cash, my own money, my purchasing decisions were a lot more careful, a lot more deliberate, a lot more thought out. According to statistics I have checked, over 40% of Poles don't have any savings. How stressful that has to be. You lose your job, you are penniless. Now, that's not an enormous problem if you are a bachelor or a miss. If your family depends on your income, that's a whole different story. See how much money you can save in 30 days, preferably on a separate account. Don't set for a particular amount. At the very least, you're going to have a good foundation for your emergency fund, a financial cushion, so to speak. When things turn sour, I hope they won't, you'll have a bit of breathing room until you find a different source of income. Saving money is going to be easier if you apply another challenge, which is hashtag challenge number 4. Stop yourself from buying X. Take a month not to buy yourself a new piece of clothing, unless it's necessary. For instance, you've got holes in your socks. Take a month not to buy yourself a cup of takeaway coffee. Choose one thing that you purchase preferably every day or every week and see whether you can do without buying it for 30 days. You will be surprised how much money we spend on non-essential consumables and junk which ends up cluttering our apartments, drawers and basements. Here's my suggested approach. Let's say you are considering buying something that exceeds a specific amount. Let's say 100 zlotys, for example. Play the waiting game. Do without it for a day and see whether you actually needed it during the wait. If not, then perhaps the purchase wasn't necessary at all. There's a funny scene in one of the episodes of The Simpsons, which beautifully illustrates this artificial urgency. Homer is watching an ad for a microphone which connects to your radio. The announcer urges the viewers to put an order now, as the supply is limited. Homer grabs the telephone, dials the number, and asks if there are any devices left. The man on the other side of the line is sitting in a warehouse full of those devices and answers, "Yeah, we've got a couple." Okay, it's time for hashtag challenge number 5. Go on a social media detox. It's not a groundbreaking statement. We spend too much time on social media. What do we do it for? What value does it bring to our lives? How does a like enhance your day? How do you think you enhance someone's day by giving them a like? Think of all the time you spend on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media outlet. Is it an enriching experience? If not, then you've got more of a reason to quit. You don't have to do it outright. Just let your account sit there for a month. How much meaningful content do you think you're going to miss? My guess is none. In my case, simply deleting social media apps did all the work for me. If I need to put something on Facebook, I use my computer. As a result, I don't waste my time on social media anymore. People probably think I'm dead by now, or they don't care. Both work for me. Hashtag challenge number 6. Overcome your fear. Adapt to the source of your fear through exposure. Let's say that you suffer from arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. The trick is to get used to the source of your fear in your presence by gradually exposing yourself to the source of your fear. So, in case of spiders, the whole process would look a little bit like this. Step 1. Get used to a presence of a nice plush spider in your presence. Step 2. Get used to seeing spiders in a completely risk-free environment by watching a documentary, for example. Step 3. Get used to holding a small toy spider shaped like a real one. Step 4. Get used to watching spiders in a not-so-completely risk-free environment like a terrarium or in a zoo. Step 5. Get used to holding a small spider in your hand. If you don't freak out during the last step, congratulations, you are in control of your fear. The best thing about learning to live with your phobia through exposure is that you can adapt the entire process to any fear, really. Hashtag challenge number 7. Learn something new. Acquire a new skill. Surprise your friends. Don't do it for work. Don't do it to expand your resume. Do it for yourself. Maybe there's a musical instrument you bought ages ago and it's collecting dust. All the more reason to dust it off and start learning. Perhaps there's another passion you wished you'd pursue. You can take up a new language even. There are loads upon loads of resources online to get you started in any skill you may wish to acquire. Don't make excuses about the lack of time. You've got plenty. Let me check your schedule real quick. Dedicating an hour a day to something valuable, something worth your while, gives you 365 hours during a year. That's a little more than 2 weeks. In the case of a month, you've got 30 hours, a day and 6 hours. It's plenty of time to grasp the basics of anything at the very least. Who knows, maybe you'll turn out to be some kind of a wizard. Maybe you will find your true calling. Okay, that last one was a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. So here you are, 7 ideas for 30